in listen-only mode.
Hey, what up, everybody? Tim Castleman here. Thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with us on this very, very special Thursday night webinar. Want to make sure that you guys can see the screen and, more importantly, hear me.
Or hear me, because Tanner's here too. He wants to pretend.
Hey, Tanner Larson is also in the building. That's nice. That's great. Tanner, when did you show up?
I just popped in.
Just popped in, yeah. Yeah, Tanner Larson will only be here for 5 minutes, yeah, tonight. Sandra, good to see you. Good evening to you. So apparently there's 3 people that are actually alive on the webinar. Oh, there's 4.
Yeah.
That's fine.
There we go.
Oh, and Tanner.
Thank you, Sandra.
There you go.
You can see me, Bishop?
I was going to say, I got to put a shirt on then.
Yeah, that's kind of creepy.
Yeah. So Tanner, why don't you before we get started, why don't you tell the lovely audience about your killer workout yesterday and what happened to you today as a result? Because I thought that was hilarious when you told me.
Yeah, Tim likes it when I get hurt or hurt myself. He's kind of a mean, horrible person, really, actually. But so I did a really killer leg workout yesterday and could barely move the next morning. Then I have this really cool torture chair that I sit in front of my office.
He does, guys. I'm serious. This is what they use to break the Al-Qaeda guys after 9/11.
It's a lower back kneeling chair that actually you have to kneel in it so that your lower back is unsupported and you have to use your core muscles to straighten your back and not hurt your back when you're sitting in a chair.
I sat in this chair for 5 minutes
earlier, and I'm sitting in this chair for over 2 hours. And then when the webinar is over, I try to get up to go get a drink, and I can't even move. My legs are completely, the lactic acid set in so bad I can't even move my leg, stand up or anything. And so the only way out of this chair is to literally fall to the side and crawl until I can pull myself up against a real chair, which happens to be in the corner of the room, and like hobble into the kitchen to get the drink that I wanted to get. But I was literally stuck in the chair for at least a minute or two before I figured out how to fall out of it to get out, because your legs are bent under and your knees are pressed down, and so it's just not very smooth to get out when your muscles don't want to cooperate. So I made the mistake of telling Tim this, and he thought it was great.
Yeah, I laughed hysterically because do you know what type of workout I did yesterday, ladies and gentlemen? I played Xbox. That's it. There was no lactic acid buildup. There was no having to sit in the surrender chair and have to crawl. No, I'm not doing that.
You guys should see the size of his thumb set.
Yeah, I'm telling you, these are definitely. I guess these are buys and tries on. Yeah, they're huge. They are definitely there. So, yeah, Cynthia, they aren't those torture chairs? She goes, I have one of the torture chairs.
Yeah, I made Tim sit in it. He made it for about 3 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. My core was burning. Screw 8-minute abs. I was sitting on this thing and I was like, okay, is it going to come down on my knees? And then am I going to require like a special sticker everywhere I park now? Yeah, I like that. Like, you guys are funny. It's totally true. That's what happened. Now, the one time I did make the mistake of accidentally working out, and I did legs, I got out of my truck, and I put both feet on the floor, hopped out of the truck, and completely fell to the ground like I was in that Help I Fall and I Can't Get Up commercial. So that's when I decided maybe this working out thing ain't so much for me. All right, guys, here's what we're going to do. Is there going to be a replay? Do you want a replay of the story already, Martine?
I mean, I can repeat the chair story a couple more times if you need to hear it again.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No, we'll cut all this. Tanner and I have learned our lesson to edit our webinars, specifically when they start and when they end. So, plus, I don't want that being blackmailed. Tanner doesn't like that story to be made public. All right. Well, we'll see about including it. We definitely will. All right, guys. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to be quiet for about 5 seconds, which is going to be hard for one of us, me, and then we'll come back and introduce our special guest and get started. So, be back with you in just 1 second. All right, good evening, everybody. Tim Castleman here with my business partner, Tanner Larson. Tanner, are you there?
I'm here. Hey, guys. How's it going?
Great to have everybody here. We're going to get started here in just a second with the Social Media Fast Start webinar. I am very, very honored to have our special guest, Randy. I'm not even going to try and pronounce Randy's last name because I'm phonetically deaf, so it would be, I'd just butcher it, and he'd probably get upset with me. So I'll let him pronounce his last name for you. But Randy, we actually met through a mutual friend of ours, and he was telling us before the webinar, he said, yeah, I've got a book out. And I was like, oh, that's cool. So we do a lot with the Amazon publishing formula and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, okay, what's the book on? He said, LinkedIn. And I said, oh, okay. So I typed in the title of the book, and it turns out that he's actually ranking higher than LinkedIn is for their own keyword. So as long as that guy can do that with a simple book title, obviously he can tell you a lot about social media and using various aspects. Now, Randy has actually been had a social media agency for the last 3 years and been helping different clients offline and online improve their social media presence, and that's what he's going to be here to talk with you guys tonight. As always, we will be in the background. For those of you who love to ask a question, no, this is not a pre-recorded webinar. There's no way we could have pre-recorded Tanner falling flat on his face. There's no way we could have done that. But we will be here in the background. There will be a question-answer session at the end, or if Randy wants to answer them during, he's more than welcome to do that. But we will be here and make sure that we get your questions answered. So with that, I'm going to be quiet, mute myself, and we'll be in the background. And Randy, the floor is yours.
All right. Well, thank you, guys. I really appreciate being here tonight. And if you guys could, let me know that you can hear me okay, and I will get started. Can everybody hear me okay? All right, great. Now, this is a participation webinar, so you guys got to participate. You got to type into that box. So, yeah, a ton of you say you can hear me, so I'm going to get started. And again, I just want to thank you for allowing me to come on here tonight. And guys, if you would do a couple things as far as housekeeping-wise tonight, I will answer all your questions, but if you could save those till near the end, I will answer as many questions that you have. I do have one speed, and so it kind of, some people really like it, some people don't, and my speed is fast. I'm kind of like Tanner. I just go right through the information and give you the strategies. So the great news is there will be that replay. So with that said, make sure you pay attention to each and every slide. There's a lot of great information. You're going to walk away with a ton of strategies tonight that you can implement for your business. So with that said, we're going to get started. So if you're ready, go ahead and type into the box that you're ready, and I'll get into the information. So you're here tonight to learn how to get more traffic, leads, and sales with social media. Real quick, I'll just give you a snapshot of my background. The reason why I do this is because you wouldn't hand the keys to your house, your car, let alone your business, without knowing a little bit about that person that you're handing them to, right? So here real quick, you'll see I'm in the top 50 out of 140 million on LinkedIn. I've got a couple followers on Twitter, right at now 110,000 followers on Twitter, which is a very targeted following, and I'm going to share with you a little bit later how I'm generating thousands of leads doing that every single month. And then this is how it all started for me. 3 years ago, I was in a national account sales company, and I was in a position there, and I doubled a single sales division from $19 million to over $38 million in sales, and I mainly did that with social media. So I founded 3 years ago my company, My Inspired Media, our social media agency, and I did that in a down economy, but I walked away from a very lucrative paying position, and I've always been an entrepreneur, and so I walked away from that, and they even offered me more money to stay, and I said no. There's too much opportunity with social media where entrepreneurs, business owners can really grow their business, and so I haven't turned back since. And then I also founded our publishing company where we do train small businesses and we provide online training programs. And since 2009, we've trained over 60,000 small business owners on how to use social media to grow their business. So that's my background. What you're going to be learning, I'm going to be sharing some strategies tonight on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Google+. And I'm going to share with you how to get more targeted traffic and qualified leads using social media. So would you guys like to learn how to get more targeted traffic to your business, to your website, and qualified leads? If you'd like to have that, yeah, type that into the box because that's what I'm going to share with you tonight. Here's the agenda. I'm going to start right out of the gate with a social media traffic formula strategy. It's just one of the strategies that I implement day in and day out for myself, my businesses, and my clients. So you're going to see that right out of the gate, and I'm going to show you how to generate 400 to 600 targeted click-throughs to your website every single day. Then I'm going to share with you some social media snapshots along with some stats. Now, you're here on the webinar because you know the magnitude of social media, but just in case, I'm just going to breeze through some stats just to reconfirm that. Then I'm going to share with you our social media formula that our firm uses every day for ourselves and our clients. It's mainly like a process map, so you're really want to take some notes when I get to that. Then I'll share with you some social media best practices. Then I'm going to come right back behind that with 4 more social media strategies, and I'm going to show you those strategies with real live case studies that I've implemented for my clients or myself. And then after that, and I've walked through all these strategies, I'm going to show you how you can take your business to the next level with our social media fast start solution. Then I'll answer your most pressing questions. And I'll do all of this within 60 minutes. I will share this information within 60 minutes. And for those who stay on till the end, when I answer all the questions, I will share with you one additional bonus strategy on Google Plus to finish the webinar off. So with all that said, let's get into it. Here is our LinkedIn traffic formula. This is just one of the strategies I'm sharing tonight. And if you know anything about LinkedIn, LinkedIn has over 1 million groups. In fact, I run the largest group on LinkedIn with over 630,000 members. We actually have 8,000 members who join every single week into our group. And so you can join these groups by interest, keywords, whatever your business is, your industry. And so you can join up to 50 of them, and you can just search by the keywords right here on the left. And you can see the size of the groups right here. You can see the size. So you just want to join your top 50 target market groups. You don't want to join any group. You want to join your target market groups. Don't join groups just off of size. You want to join them because they're your target market. The next thing that happens is when you log into your LinkedIn account, under groups, you'll have a drop-down menu of all your groups. So you will just select one of your groups. And so for example's sake, I'm going to select my Google Plus Marketing group. And in your group, you're able to add a title. You can drive people to any website, any web page, any squeeze page that you have, any press release that you have, anything it may be. You can give it a title. You can give it a description, and then you give it the link. And the moment that you click the share button, the next step is you'll see it pop up on the right side of the screen in your group. You will want to click on that. And this is a really simple process, guys. It takes 3 minutes to implement to get this much traffic to your website. So you'll click on that, and you will select the More option right here. Or you can select the LinkedIn icon right up here. So either of those options, once you click the More, here's the screen that pops up. It's a screen where you can select the post to groups, which is your 50 target market groups, and you can auto-populate. This takes, again, about 3 minutes. On your keyboard, you can literally hit A, and the A's all pop up. You hit the B's all pop up, the C's. So it really moves very quickly, and you click the share button, and this goes out to your 50 groups, and you'll generate 400 to 600 targeted click-throughs to your website. And I don't know if you guys remembered how much I said this was. Do you guys remember how much this cost? It's absolutely free to generate that type of traffic to your website. Now, I didn't say that you spam. I didn't say you post just anything into these groups. I don't recommend that. I recommend that you post remarkable, valuable content in these groups. So again, I'm not saying spam. I'm saying post this maybe three times a week that in content that's relevant, and you'll get a lot of traffic to your website. So now, would you guys like to learn how to make that and turn that in from 400 to 600 to turn that into 700 to 1,000 targeted visitors? Here's what you do next, and this is something we've tested over the last 3 years for ourselves and our clients. LinkedIn sends out a daily digest email of a LinkedIn group's activity. So like this is the linked HR, and this comes into my LinkedIn, or this is my email inbox. This is a screenshot of my email inbox, and here's a daily digest email of the linked HR group, which is a group I belong to. And here's what we've found out and figured out through testing this. If you post your content between 8:30 and 9:30 Eastern Time every day, a.m., then your content 99% of the time will be included, that you post in the group will be included in the daily digest email. And we have figured that generates out anywhere from 700 to 1,000 targeted visitors to your website. And again, we're talking about providing remarkable, valuable content, guys. I'm not saying spam. So with that said, that's just the first strategy to start off with. So do you guys see the opportunity here to really drive targeted traffic to your website? This is just the first strategy. So if you guys like that, go ahead and type that into the box. If you didn't, then you need to let Tanner and Tim know, because they need to just hit the gong button and kick me off this webinar. But no, there's a ton of great yeses coming in, so great. So let's go ahead and continue this webinar, and we'll get into the rest of the information. So here's what I want to stress to you. This next slide, look at this. Social search matters, and here's what I mean by that. You already know that Google search matters, and Yahoo and Bing, but did you know that what you do on these platforms matters as far as search as well. And so what you do on LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook, and Google+, all of that matters in the search engine. So your status updates and your copy, it's getting indexed by Google. It's getting ranked. So LinkedIn profiles and discussions are getting ranked on the first page, second page, third page of Google. So social activity does matter to search engines, and half of you on the webinar probably did not know that. So now here's the next thing I want to stress to you, and this is just a real quick snapshot. Social search does matter because here's a real estate client of ours. She's a real estate coach, and she's Robin Haynes, and she wanted to rank for real estate and real estate coach on LinkedIn, not because she wanted to be found by people who wanted to buy homes, because she wanted to be found by other real estate agents. And out of 27,000 search results, she's ranking #1 for real estate coach. Because here's what we know is, for instance, on LinkedIn, agents search on there, and they're searching just because of ego for other real estate agents. So if you're a real estate agent on this webinar, I apologize, but it's just confession time. You search for other real estate agents to see who's on there, just so you can basically spider their profile and see what's going on. So social search matters because this type of ranking also gets indexed by the search engine. So really important. If you're on these platforms and you're not ranking, then why are you there? You need to ask yourself that question. So here's the thing. Take a look at my Twitter profile. I have over 100, and now it's like 110,000 followers on Twitter, but I've grown this Twitter following very targeted, and I've generated thousands of opt-ins to my subscriber base through Twitter. Would you guys like to see how I'm doing that and how it only takes me about 3 minutes a day to do that? Well, I'm going to show you that a little bit later, but don't take my word for it that this is a healthy Twitter account. TweetGrader.com or HubSpot, they have this service, and they're the largest social media information aggregator out there. They'll grade my Twitter account, so this is an independent source, so you know I'm not blowing smoke here, but they're grading my Twitter account 100% out of 100, and they say it's one of the Twitter elites because of the following, the responses, the engagement. It's all there. So again, don't take my word for it. Take a third party to see that it's it's true. So why is social media important? Here's some of the stats. Obviously some of you guys know these, some of you don't. So let's zoom in and take a look. The first thing is just the reality of Google. The daily search volume on Google right now is over 316 million searches a day. So people are searching for content, and why that's so important is because everything that's happening on the social platforms is now being indexed by Google. So that's really important to you. So the second largest search engine in the world is YouTube, which most of you guys, maybe 50% knew that, the other half didn't. But who owns YouTube? Does anyone know that? Yeah, Google Plus owns YouTube, or Google does. So if Google owns YouTube, do you think if you post videos on YouTube that your content of YouTube videos would get ranked on Google quicker than probably other third-party content? Yes, absolutely it would if you do it right. You can generate very targeted traffic to your business and to your website. So take a look at this. 3 billion videos are viewed per day on YouTube, and more video is uploaded to YouTube in 1 month than the 3 major news networks created over the last 60 years. That's a staggering statistic. Take a look at Facebook here. Over 800 million active users. It's on its way to over 1 billion on Facebook. And 50% of Facebook users log on to Facebook on any given day. So that's a ton of activity that's going on there. So over 2 billion posts are liked or commented daily on Facebook, which really doesn't say much if someone just said, I just ate pizza or I just checked in here or there, right? Here's what matters. Take a look at this. 54% of Facebook users become fans or followers of brands and services. So what this is saying is that 54% are liking business pages or fan pages on Facebook. So that's a staggering number. So you have to ask yourself, whether you're an author, speaker, consultant, small business owner, Fortune 500, whoever you are, whatever you're doing, do you have a business fan page, and are you actively engaging those people? Because there's a fan base that's wanting to engage with you. So LinkedIn, over 140 million professionals are active on LinkedIn. That's huge. That's a big number. But take a look at this. 50% are the business decision makers for their business. 50%. So you talk about being able to bypass gatekeepers and get right to decision makers. Here's a huge opportunity. And I'm going to show you a little bit later with just one strategy that we're implementing for our clients. Our clients pay us thousands of dollars for, and I'm going to share that complete strategy with you on this webinar. You'll be able to walk away right after this webinar, implement it, and start generating anywhere from 40 to 70 leads per month of qualified opportunities of people responding back saying they want to talk more about your business. So Twitter averages over 200 million status updates per day, which again doesn't say a whole lot until you take a look at this. 41% of business owners surveyed said that Twitter delivers great value to their business. And I can directly attest to this because I was working with a client a couple years ago, and they were trying to close a large amount of business with GE. And anybody heard of GE? Yeah, I mean they're huge. They got their own gross national product. I mean they have more volume in revenue than some third world countries, and they have 5 major divisions. And this national specialty contractor came to me, and they wanted to get to the decision maker at GE Corporate. They knew the decision makers at their 5 major divisions, and they couldn't get that person. And so they came to me. They had 21 national sales reps, a telemarketing division of 60 employees, and they couldn't for 10 years find this specific person. Staggering. Well, I went to Twitter. 48 hours later, Megan Parker, who manages multiple Twitter accounts for Twitter or for GE, responded back, gave me the decision maker. I was on the phone with him and introduced him to the client. So yes, Twitter delivers great value to a business owner, not only to the retail guy and the person trying to sell a $20 shirt, but also the guy who's trying to sell a $200,000 roof. So Twitter is a huge opportunity if you know how to use it. And that goes to say this: 57% of Twitter users have recommended brands and services through their tweets. So, I think it's really frustrating when we always see these guys that say, you know what, I just ate pizza. Who really cares about that? It's frustrating, isn't it? I mean, if that's frustrating to you, type that into the question box. Say, let me know if you agree or disagree. But it's the guy who tweets and says, I just ate pizza at Joe's local pizzeria, that does matter because he endorses that brand, that product, that service. He's endorsing it. And when other people do that, it's not an advertisement, because here's what we know. 14% of people trust what? They trust traditional advertisement. But over 74% trust the recommendations of others. And that's what's happening here with social media. So why care about social media? Well, it allows us to identify new qualified prospects. It allows us to create inbound lead generation where the prospect is finding you first, and allows us to bypass the gatekeeper. It'll help us generate leads, create brand awareness, do market research, customer relations, and at the end of the day, close sales. So take a look at this slide, this businessman whose head's in the sand. I bring this up because here's the reality. I work with clients day in and day out who say, you know what, they're on the fence, and you may be yourself, on whether or not you really need to be participating in social media or not. And I always bring this slide up to my clients, and I say, listen, you know what, you're like a businessman whose head's in the sand because there's a Mack truck coming down the beach. He's going to plow this guy over, and he's not going to be alive anymore. I mean, it's just the reality that he's putting his head in the sand, and he's vulnerable. And businesses are vulnerable. Authors, speakers, consultants, entrepreneurs are vulnerable in this space because here's what's going to happen. Your clients and prospects are going to participate in social media, whether you approve it or not, whether positive or negative, and they're going to do so on your behalf, and they don't need your permission to do it. So what that means is in 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, if you're not participating in social media and you're asking yourself why you're not seeing any more new clients and why your revenues have decreased, if people are out there participating in social media in a negative way on your behalf and you're not addressing it, it can dramatically affect your bottom line and the future of your own business. So it is a big-time reality check because social media is going nowhere. It gives people a voice. So, and there's my little Twitter handle, so if you ever want to catch me on Twitter. So marketing has changed, right? Would you guys agree with that? Would you agree that the last 40 years of marketing strategies no longer work, or they do, but they're not cost prohibitive, right? Well, here's what we know. Social media allows us to drive, it helps us increase results but reduce the cost. And so that's what social media is allowing us to do. But right now what we know is that the last 40 years is been what we call push marketing, where people and advertisers just get on the radio, TV, and newspapers and do what they call screen marketing and pushing and yelling. And that no longer works because people have a voice with social media. Or if it does work, it costs way too much in order to see really good results. So that's the reality. And here's the thing about social media, and here's our social media formula that we implement for our clients. You got to get attention and attract leads on these social platforms. But there's a huge gap because used to, you get attention out here in this area here through the conventional means of newspaper, radio, and TV and whatever else, and postcards. But there was no gap here because you just said, okay, here you got attention, but then you just sent them over here to convert the sale. There was nothing in the middle. So there's a gap. How do you do that with social media? Because you cannot do what you did over the last 40 years. So how do we convert the sales? Here's what we do for ourselves and our clients. You're going to want to take these notes. In the space, we get attention, so we do things through status updates and commenting and blogs and articles and groups. We do things to attract our market. We get attention, and we do that by providing remarkable, valuable content. We give great advice. We get known as experts. We create social momentum, and what we do next is we capture leads. And what I mean by that is that when we get attention, we send people to squeeze pages. We send people to opt-in pages. We give away things. Like you guys heard on the beginning of the webinar, my How to LinkedIn book. I've given that thing away over 6,700 times in the last 30 days. So I've generated over 6,700 opt-ins with How to LinkedIn as a book. So I captured a lead, but I did it by providing remarkable, valuable content. So that's the second step. The third step is I create desire and interest where I follow up and I share maybe some case studies or I share some results of what I'm accomplishing for myself or my clients or whatever product or service it is. And then I bond with the prospect. I actually get more social. So I may send a picture out. I may send a video out of maybe a picture of me and my son shooting off a rocket, and I'll say something like, maybe you want to rocket your sales, and I'll include that so I bond with the prospect. Maybe share pictures or videos from my office so they can identify with my staff. And then the next thing I do is I establish credibility and proof. I'll bring in case studies. I'll send out samples. I'll give physical samples. If, I have a BioFreeze product that I have as one of my widget businesses, and I'll give out physical samples. And those are things that I do to establish credibility and proof. Or I share the testimonials. These are all critical steps in the social media formula if you want to convert sales. If you eliminate part of this, you will not be converting sales using social media. However, if you implement this formula, you will convert a ton of sales. You will get a ton of opt-ins if you implement this formula in its entirety, guys. So it's absolutely critical that you take each of these steps. Again, my clients pay me thousands of dollars every month to implement this for them. And if they just knew that once I got the heavy lifting done on the front end to capture the lead, that it was so easy to do the rest, they wouldn't be paying me that. But that's why I'm sharing it with you right now, because you've got the privilege of learning this information. So social media basics, take a look at this. Number one is, and there's probably really nothing basic about this slide, but the first area is social content and publishing. That's your websites, press releases, articles, blogs. But then number two is where people are saying, I like that press release, I like the article, I like that blog or that case study. So they're reading it, the Google Plus, tweeting it. Then number three is common social networks. I'm LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Google Plus. Number four is social engagement. That's the commenting, that's the blogs, that's the groups, that's the walls. That's the Google Plus Hangouts. And then this number five is social tracking, where you've seen people check in at restaurants and retail stores and conferences and events. Have you ever asked yourself, I know this came to mind, is why in the world do I care where people are checking in? And that becomes ever so apparent, right? Well, here's the reality, and here's why it's so powerful. Think about this. The average user on Facebook has 133 friends, and 80% of them, according to Facebook, are local. And for instance, I have a client here in St. Louis that they're a retail client, and they'll actually give a 20% discount for anyone who checks in on their smartphone and says that they're at their retail store and shares it and shows it to them at the register when they do it. And the reason why is because they know that their friends are doing what I do every night. And that my daughters say I creep my friends' Facebook walls. They say I'm a creep. Well, if I'm a creep, then everybody else is a creep, because everybody's nosy about what their friends are doing, and they'll look at their Facebook walls. And if they checked in here or checked in there, we then go and look at that information, and we go, that's interesting. Why'd they go to that store? Why'd they go to that restaurant? Maybe I should check it out. And we look at it more of an endorsement than we do an advertisement. That is why social tracking can be powerful, but it's got to be positioned properly, and the strategy's got to be used properly. And so businesses need to know how to use it. So there's huge opportunity there. So social media best practices, number one, transparency works both ways. How many of you guys, type this in if you have, heard of Second Life. I mean, that platform Second Life. So this is huge because this isn't the place for Second Life. That's where you can, yeah, the number of you guys have said yes, you've heard of it. Well, this is not the place to live in an alter ego or and try and create some alter life. In social media, you need to be authentic and frequent and consistent. You know what? Just like your friends and business acquaintances and family expect you to be frequent, consistent, and authentic offline, you need to do so online. So meaning this, if you're on Facebook or on Google Plus or wherever it may be, or Twitter, you need to be consistent. So if you show up 10 times a week or to an event offline, you need to be frequent and consistent online. If you do 10 status updates this week, you probably should do at least 10 next week, because as your follower base gets engaged, they will become less engaged if you're very erratic. They will not be as engaged, and they probably won't convert. Number 3, don't sell all the time, and that goes to say this: provide remarkable, valuable content so that when you do share something that you want to do as a call to action, you'll actually get people to convert. And then this last area is treat negative comments as an opportunity. This is huge, and not that I'm going to speak from personal experience, but don't leave negative comments out there, kind of like that businessman whose head's in the sand, because they can come back to hurt you, right? I think we can all agree about that. But at the same time, have you guys ever gotten someone who's emailed you and just totally, in a once in a blue moon, berated you, and you just wanted to just email back or do a status update back or write something on Facebook and just really blast them? Well, you've got to be careful with that when it's your business, right? Because here's what I know: you can put stuff out there and it can come back to haunt you. And here's a scientific fact for you, fun fact for you. Your IQ drops anywhere from 30 to 60 points when you're angry. So what does that equivalent to? It means that you can post some pretty stupid stuff when you're angry if you don't take a step back. So that's why I have a team around me. I have a lot of friends and business associates who, you know, if that ever happens, they're able to draw me back. So yeah, a good tip there. And yeah, I guess that does come back from personal experience. So Jumpstart tips, I think it's pretty clear. Number 1, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Those are, in Google Plus, there's a must joins. You know, there's a ton of platforms out there, but you at least need to go to these platforms and join them, and you'll see why a little bit more later. Number 2, a picture is worth 1,000 what? Yeah, words. But here's the thing, here's a fact. 50% of the people, even on this webinar, you don't have a picture that adequately communicates what you do in business. So if you're an internet marketer and you want to promote the internet lifestyle, great, have yourself a picture of yourself on the beach. But if you're a financial advisor, probably not a good idea to have a picture of yourself on the beach when you're trying to retain clients. So especially if you're trying to deal with high net worth people. So if you guys, you catch my drift there as far as what I'm trying to communicate, you want to have the right picture that communicates what you do. Number 3, complete your social profiles. And I'm going to share a strategy with you on how to do that and how to outrank your competition in just a moment. Number 4, secure your brand identity. This is big. You need to be securing your brand identity on these platforms, and one of the things that we do is I recommend you go to Knowem. If you don't hear anything else, if you don't hear the next 4 strategies tonight, hear this. Go to Knowem.com. And I had Allstate on this webinar a couple months ago, and I typed in Allstate here, and this is just a screenshot, and I clicked check it, and this platform, for free, checks over 500 different platforms. And you can see all the ones that were grayed out, but there's still a couple that are actually available still. And a ton of these were available at that time for Allstate, and I had there are Allstate people on the webinar. And think about this: 5 years ago, 10 years ago, if your company name wasn't trademarked, people could go out there and buy your domain name if you didn't buy it yet, and they could hold it hostage and make you pay thousands of dollars to even get it back, legal fees, or even to pay to the highest bidder. So here's the reality. You need to secure your brand identity. Go to these platforms, create a username and password, even if you're not going to do anything. Because let's just say 2 years, 5 years, you realize the magnitude of this opportunity, although the opportunity is now, and I recommend you do it now. But my point is, you need to secure your brand identity before it costs you a ton of money. And there's some of you right now who are here considering new businesses and new ventures, and you're not taking this in consideration when your name could already be taken on the majority of all these platforms. So that's something to consider as well. So really important tip, guys. You want to definitely implement that. So, okay, at this point, and this is kind of like a lot of my clients, we've all heard of Dell, Southwest, Zappos, Blintech, all making money using social media. but it's like this guy holding the sign. So what? That's kind of how I feel. It's probably how you feel. And the reality is how can I implement it for my business and what I'm trying to accomplish? So let's take a look at some strategies. The first one is a LinkedIn lead search formula that we implement. So what you can do when you go to LinkedIn is you can engage your target market here. I'm going to grab a drink real quick. And you can go to LinkedIn, and you can click on the advanced search in the upper right of LinkedIn, and it comes up with this nice little screen. And you can search by keywords. That's great. You can search by postal code, country, city, title, company, all these great options. But you definitely want to search by groups and industry, seniority level. A lot of great options here. They just keep going, too. Company size, recently joined, years of experience. And if you take, for example, I've got a wholesale insurance client here in St. Louis. His name's Rick Kempill, and he likes to talk to independent insurance agents. He doesn't want to talk to captive agents, but Rick and you too, you would typically come here and you would type in insurance, and you would search for people in insurance. Well, that's not going to really yield you great results, even if you use all these other great parameters that LinkedIn provides with all these other little options. So we take it a step further, and maybe 5% of you guys on this webinar have heard of this strategy. It's actually less than 5% of Google's own staff uses this. We use the Boolean search, B-O-L-L-E-A-N search formula, and we implement this, and this is huge because most people don't know that you can do this on LinkedIn. And so we will take it a step further, and we will put in quotations every person that he wants to talk to. And we could put in multiple people or qualifiers of people he wants to talk to. And you can see here, it could be insurance or life insurance. And since life insurance is 2 words, we put a plus sign between the 2 words. But all of these words are in quotations. But we also say he doesn't want to talk to people who are not independent agents, so like people at State Farm and Allstate. So we have all these qualifiers and disqualifiers. So in order to put the disqualifiers there, we put a minus sign in front of that. So minus State Farm, minus Allstate. So it yields a very, very targeted search result. And this search result is very powerful because you click search and it comes up to where you can send those people a message, and it's really important that you do search by groups. So you can send them a message for free. You could also send them an in-mail, but that you can pay $25 to $100 a month to do that. If you did that way, it's pretty effective because the in-mail message flashes right up about here when people log in, just flashing saying you have in-mail. So it's very effective if you were to pay for it. But you don't have to. You can do this completely free. And here's what comes up is this little screen to put in a compelling subject headline. So like for Rick, we put in there, because he's going after independent insurance agents, we put in there, business direction, comma, can we talk? And which was very compelling. You got to think about what's compelling to your target market as a subject heading. Now, in this message, it's like a 2-paragraph message, and we shared in there, we introduced ourselves, we shared a little bit about our background and some of the accomplishments we've had and why we were contacting them. We weren't trying to sell them, basically, but we said, listen, if you would like to take this conversation further, hit the reply button or give me a call. But those were very specific directions that were very important. So we did that, and it's generated massive response. We get usually a 6 to 15% response rate. If he sends out 100 messages, he'll get 15 replies back saying, yes, I'm interested, because of this search formula. Guys, how many of you are getting that type of response rate in any type of marketing that you're doing? I mean, conventional postcard marketing, if you're really, really good, is 3%, right? But we're talking about something that's 6 to 15%. And if you're inviting them to community, it goes to 15 to 30%. So take a look at Rick's inbox. This is Rick's inbox here. This is just a screenshot. And this is people responding back, going business direction, saying, yes, I want to take the conversation further. Rick gets 40 to 70 responses back per month of qualified people responding back saying, I want to take this conversation further. Guys, if you were getting 40 to 70 responses back per month, how would that affect your business? Would that affect your business? Let me know. Type that in. If that would affect your business, type that in. Tell me with 40, yeah, huge. Sandra says it would be huge. A ton of you guys are saying yes. Oh, yes. That's a lot of leads. And do you guys remember how much I told you this cost? It cost you zero. It cost you your time. When you get really good at this, you could send out 60 messages in about 40 minutes. You could send out 100 messages in an hour. So the question comes down to, how well do you want to implement this and start generating leads for your business? This is, again, is just one strategy, guys, but it doesn't cost you a dime other than your time to implement. You could train one of your employees to do this for you. So very powerful strategy, and you could even resell this strategy. You could go out there if you're a consultant. I realize some of you guys on the webinar are consultants. You could go out there and consult other people on how to generate leads now, and you could charge them a couple grand a month just to implement this one strategy or to train them, guys. So congratulations, you could go out there and sell this strategy now, and I shared with you how to do it. So strategy number 2 seems pretty basic, but it's not. And it's all about social reach, and it's all about growing your connections. So here you are right there, right? And I like to bring up this kind of example. You go to offline networking events to meet people you never knew so that you could generate business that you never had, right? Well, on the social platforms that you're on for business, you'll say, well, I don't want to connect to people I don't know on this first level. Yet you do it every day. You go to networking events to meet people you don't know so that you could generate business you never had, and to be introduced to people that they know down here on the second and third level so that you can be introduced to your target market, right? So it's critically important that you connect with people even that you don't know on these platforms if you're on these platforms to grow your business. And the reason why that's so important is because the reality is a bunch of geeks built these platforms, and if you want to leverage these platforms at little to no cost, the best way to do that is to grow your network. Now, you don't have to. You can actually pay LinkedIn, Facebook, and Google for ad placement and pay them a pretty penny. But this is just one strategy that allows you to connect with your target market at little to no cost. That's why I share it with you. And so take a look at this. OpenNetworker.com is one of the sites that you can use. This is not an affiliate link. I don't have any affiliation with this company. But you can join them for free and grow your you can grow your connections with other professionals every single week by hundreds, or you can pay them $50 a year and receive hundreds of invites every single week of professionals who want to connect, which again will get you to access these people on this second and third level who are your target market. So these are all strategies that are really important to your business. So you definitely want to grow your connections. Number 3 is social ranking, getting found. This is really important. And take a look at this. Do you want to outrank your competition? So if you go to these social platforms and you want to rank, you want to have a magnetic profile, you want to have a persuasive profile, right? And the real key to this is this. You want to make sure that your keywords are in your headline, your specialties, and your job titles. And you want to evaluate your competition. You want to reverse engineer what your competition is doing on Google+, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, on LinkedIn. You want to reverse engineer. You want to go and look at the profile search results, and I'll show you what I mean here in just a second. But you think about headlines, specialties, and job titles. Sometimes they're titled differently. Maybe like on Google+, it may be called skills. On Twitter, it may be called bio instead of headline. So realize there's a common language, but these are the critical areas to put these keywords. You want to make sure they're there. So take it a step further. Take a look at Wayne Ackey. Wayne was came to me a little over a year and a half ago. He wishes he would have came to me 3 years ago, because then he would be processing all of my credit card payments, which would be a lot. But he's not, because he wasn't ranking. Out of 54,000 search results, he was not ranking for credit card processing. But now he is, and here's how we did it. And you can do this with multiple platforms, guys. We made sure his keywords are in his profile, but we didn't do it in a way where, yeah, we stuffed his profile with keywords, but if you look at his profile, look at his compelling headline. Does it look like it's keyword stuff? No, it's very clear what he does. So you look at that, and here's what we do. Here's how you do this. You reverse engineer this. So you look at the first couple results of your competition who shows up for your keywords, right? Go to their profile. Okay, and here's what you do. Click on their profile and then hit Control F on your keyboard, or if you're on a Mac, hit Command F. And here's a little thing that pops up in the right side of the screen, right up here. And you can type in credit card. So if you're trying to rank for a credit card, type it in. And you'll see that credit card appears, if I show you this here, it appears 37 times in his profile. So you know that that appears in your competition's profile. How many times? 37. So if you want to outrank your competition in search results, how many times do you think you need to have those keywords appear in your profile? So if it appears 37, type it in. Yeah, exactly. At least one more time, maybe 10 more times, and you'll outrank your competition. Again, I'm not saying keyword stuff to where they can't understand your profile, guys. I'm not recommending that. You can put your keywords in an area where they're not going to necessarily see it, okay, as much. So again, that's going to allow you to rank and outrank your competition, which is really important because if you're getting found, you're getting profile views, and that's important. So here's a screenshot of like my LinkedIn profile, my LinkedIn account. In just a single day, I got over 40 people who looked at my profile. So let me ask you a question. If 40 people who are your target market are looking at your LinkedIn profile or your Facebook or Google Plus profile in a single day, and you knew who they were, would that affect your business, especially if you can engage them and you knew how to engage them? Would that affect your business if you could engage them? Absolutely would. And you're being able to rank out of you get 40 search results or 40 times where people seen you. And again, how much did that cost you? It cost you zero. It cost you no additional money to rank for that. You just had to optimize your profiles, which again is very powerful when you think about it. The other people are paying for Google AdWords, and to get 40 people to click through to their website or their profile, it's costing them $100, $300, $400, and this is stuff that doesn't cost you a dime. So very powerful stuff. So here is how I grew my Twitter following. I use this service. It's free. It's called Twello.com. Here's the website, Twello.com, and it's very easy to use. I go there, and here's what Twello has done. They have went out to the Twitter profiles that are out there, the Twitterverse, and they've indexed Twitter profiles based off of industry keywords, kind of like the LinkedIn groups. And there's over 3,100 3,100 categories that they've come up with. So you ask yourself the question, and I do this for myself: who would my target market be following on Twitter? And so my target market are looking to generate business. So they're going to follow people who are business development experts. You got to ask yourself, who would your target market be following, right? So my target market would be following business development experts. So I would search that, and there's actually a business development category. Look at that, and there's over 7,000 results for business development. And here's Ian. Here's, for an example, he has 92,000 followers. There is his username. So I will click on his ID, and I could go to his Twitter profile, and down here on the lower right, I can click on his followers. And I could manually follow them all. But guess what? My wife would probably divorce me because I would be doing this 70 hours a week, and I would be getting no other results. I would be getting nothing else done. But these are my target market, and 50% of them will follow me back usually within 48 to 72 hours. So it is valuable, but man, it's too time consuming. So what I do is there's a lot of great tools out there that you can use, but this one is very simple to use. And again, it's not my company. I don't get an affiliate commission for this, but I use a thing called Hummingbird Redux, and I paid for this 3 years ago. It cost me like $67, and it's still that price. And the reason why I say this one is because it's super easy to use. So all I do is I put Ian or whoever's profile username up there, and then my software is real smart. It'll say, do you want to follow all his followers? And it will follow a couple hundred people in a day. And again, this only takes about 2 to 3 minutes to implement this entire strategy. And it's a smart software, so it knows it can only follow a couple hundred people, so it doesn't get Twitter mad at me. And then I will go get my cup of coffee, and a couple minutes later come back, and in a few days I can open up this program, and it'll say, do you want to unfollow people? And it will only unfollow the people who've not followed me back. So I've created this very loyal, targeted following base of people who are highly engaged. Now, I take it a step further. I use a service called Social Oomph, which is free. You can register. Just click in the upper right, socialoomph.com. You can write it down there. Write that down and go register there. And then you can do a direct message. You can log in and select direct messages. And you guys have heard of DMs, and people say, well, DMs are spam. Well, they're not spam to the people who are a month in, 2 months, 4 months into Twitter as a new account. And those are the people you're targeting because those people are reading the direct messages and they're clicking through. So I send a direct message to everyone who follows me back on Twitter, and it's automatic. Social Oomph automatically sends it to them, and it says, mine is, thanks for the follow. Here's a nifty guide on social media for your business with a link. So you remember this? Get attention is the first part of that formula. Number 2 is what? Capture the lead. So this is what I'm doing. I'm getting attention. I'm capturing the lead. I drive them to a squeeze page, a website, to where they opt in. They opt in. Guys, just this one strategy, it takes me a few minutes a day. Yeah, the report, I had to do the heavy lifting on the front end, create this 20-page report. It took me probably 4 hours to create one time, but that was heavy lifting on the front end, right? But this strategy takes a few minutes a day to implement. And look at this. This is just this email list right here. In 4 months, I generated over 3,000 opt-ins from this single strategy on Twitter. Guys, how many of you are generating thousands of opt-ins a month of your target market opting in, and it's not costing you a dime? None of this cost me a dime. Yeah, the Twitter software did, that following software, but how many of you, if you had 3,000 people opt in, would that affect your business who are your target market? You can implement the same strategy. There's nothing hidden here that you can't do. I just shared with you the blueprint to be able to do that. Yeah, absolutely. This would affect your business if you implemented this strategy. So very powerful strategy, guys. So the question is, do you want more opportunities? There's 5 key action items I want to share with you. I want to recap. Number 1, if you've heard anything tonight, it is go and secure your brand name. Go to knowem.com and make sure that you've went to these platforms and at least created your username and password so that your brand name's not hijacked, so some 19-year-old kid doesn't hijack your brand name. I actually, one of the easiest clients I closed, a Fortune 500 client 2 years ago, all I did is I went and printed off their Twitter account of a 19-year-old kid who had his thumbs up smiling, his gums showing. He had hijacked their brand name, and all I did is did a screenshot, emailed it to him, and said, I can help you with this. And they immediately replied back and said, okay, how much is it going to cost? We're ready to go. So you got to secure your brand name. It's going to save you a lot of headache. Number 2, finish your social profiles. I think you obviously see now your profiles will get you found, which will generate a lot of activity for your business, right? Number 3, now you see the quality and why it's so important to grow your network. Number 4, capitalize on using the search, using that formula I shared with you. Heck, go sell that formula if you'd like. Number 5, send those messages and start filling your inbox with qualified leads that are responding back to you. So with all that said, guys, let me ask you a question. So have you seen how powerful social media can be for your business? Let me know. Type in. I mean, can you guys now see how big this can be for your business? And how it can grow your business at reduced cost and increase results? Yeah, a ton of yeses are coming in. It is, and guys, these are strategies. I mean, I just broke it down. I know I go fast. There'll be a replay sent out, but I mean, these are strategies that you could implement, right? I mean, do you feel like, if you given a little bit of time, you could implement these strategies, right? These are strategies you can implement, and you could start generating results instead of spending money on useless marketing strategies that no longer work. So because that's why people are even on this webinar tonight, is because there's strategies that no longer work, and that's not going to help you grow your business. So with that said, here is how I can help you take these strategies to the next level in your business. And right before, I'm going to share a little bit of that information on our social media fast start solution, and then I'm going to get to all of your pressing questions, and I'm going to welcome Tanner and Tim back to field those questions, and we'll do all that. But before we do that, I'm going to share with you how you can take your business to the next level. It'll just take a few minutes, fair enough, and I'll stay as long as you like to answer all your questions. So here is what we have. We have a simple 3-step online social media training program. And guys, we've trained thousands of business owners and entrepreneurs and marketers. So this is a very concise, very simple program, A to Z. And it's all digitally delivered. And it's 3 core modules that will get you found, beating out your competition, and generating a flood of leads and traffic. And I just shared with you a snapshot of some of the opportunity that you could see here tonight. And these are all covered on the key social platforms of LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. And here's the reason why we cover all these key platforms. The fact of the matter is there's a ton of people on this webinar tonight, and the reality is that your opportunity for your business is specific, and it may be that your greater opportunity is LinkedIn and Facebook, while others it may be YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. But you don't know that until you know what we call, and we do this for our clients, we map out what their social media reach is. until you understand how big your reach is for your target market on these platforms, you don't really know which platform you should really focus on. That's why we've made this easy to follow, comprehensive program for you so that you could really figure this out for your business. So Module 1 is about magnetic profiles, persuasive profiles. So in Module 1, we have 6 video sections, and we're going to show you how to outrank your competition and actually for your top 5 competitive keywords in your niche. We'll show you how to be found by past contacts, which is pretty darn important. We're going to show you how to know who is looking at your LinkedIn profile, which is like those 40 profile views you saw, and how to engage them. Wouldn't that be powerful if you know how to engage your target market and they didn't even know? I mean, that's pretty stealth marketing right there when you can engage the people that were looking at your profile and they don't even know that you were able to do it. And then how to dominate search results when someone searches your competition's brand name. Would you guys like to be able to dominate and show up right by your competition when someone searches for your competition on these platforms, or even outrank them? Yeah, we're going to show you how to do that. And then it comes with process documents, and here's what I mean by that. We got a magnetic profiles worksheet that you basically go through this exercise in our video program where we train you. You print off this worksheet, you go through it with me. You fill it out one time, and then you can transfer it to all the platforms. So I'm all about efficiency in this program because I realize that your business, you need to grow your business. So I'm super efficient. These videos are anywhere from 6 minutes to 20 minutes. A couple of them are a little bit longer than that, but there are strategies where you can literally get in and get out, watch a 10-minute video, implement a strategy, and start seeing immediate results. That's the type of program we have here. It's not a program where you got to watch 12 hours of video or read a 400-page book before you ever see any real results. So Module 2 is all about engagement. We're going to show you how to do that target messaging like I do for Rick that I showed you. I'm going to show you how to generate those 6 to 15% response rates, how to write a compelling subject headline, how to get that message right, how to get prospects stepping forward asking for your help. I'm going to show you how to do status update strategies for writing and posting for maximum results, and including discussion topics that win every time. And here's the reality of that. You guys see it every day where there's a person that does a status update or discussion topic that just generates a flood of activity. And I'm talking about ones that are business related. You'll see them and you go, how in the world did they do that? Well, there's actually a science behind that. We know it. We've implemented it for 3 years. We're going to show you A to Z how to implement it, and it doesn't cost you a dime, and you'll be able to generate those same type of results. Then we'll show you how to, again, automate this stuff so that it helps you save time. It's all about efficiency here, guys. And this is stuff that doesn't cost you any additional money, so you don't have to pay additional money to automate this. And it comes with the process documents. And the one key process document is the direct message template. I break down how to create your own direct messages, but I also include 4 past clients that we built these for, clients who've paid us $5,000, $10,000, develop these for them, including Rick Hemphill's. Would you guys like to have Rick's? Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're going to include that one in here too. So you actually see how we're going to train you how to do it, but we're actually going to give you the actual ones that we've done for our clients as well. And then Module 3 is all about domination. It comes with 11 video sections in this module, but we show you how to explode your connections by 200 within 30 days. One LinkedIn message trick that'll actually take your engagement rate to almost 100%. I cannot guarantee 100%, never will try. I'll never try to do that, but I'll tell you what, it gets pretty darn close because you can use LinkedIn's help to do this. And then I'm going to show you a Facebook traffic strategy that's very, very powerful. Do you guys like that LinkedIn traffic strategy? Well, you'll love this Facebook traffic strategy and our Ads Mastery, where we'll show you how to spend $20 or $40 in a day and generate 200 to 400 targeted click-throughs to your website. Now, to generate 200 to 400 targeted click-throughs using Google AdWords would cost you several $100s. Well, this same strategy using Facebook will cost you $20 to $40, and I train you exactly how to do it. Then I'll show you our advanced LinkedIn surge method again. So I even break it down even further, the one that you just seen here on the webinar. And I show you advanced tracking methods for your content's effectiveness. And here's what I mean by that. We'll show you what softwares and tools we use that are completely free to track your status updates, your content, your discussions, your articles, so that you know which ones are most effective, so that you can begin after 2 or 3 weeks of implementing these strategies to actually tailor your content so you generate better results. So you're not just putting out weak status updates that are not going to get any click-throughs, that are not going to get any opt-ins. We show you exactly step-by-step how to do that and how to eavesdrop on your competition. So whenever they do anything significant online, you're instantly alerted. And then we're going to show you how to do YouTube video creation. So, and the reason why we're going to show you how to do that is because you know, obviously YouTube's the second largest search engine in the world, and we can show you how to rank on page 1 and 2 and 3 of Google for your competitive keywords within 12 to 24 hours if you follow our strategies correctly. I can't do it for every keyword, but I can do it for quite a few. And so we'll show you how to do that. You don't have to be camera shy. You don't have to worry about it. You can literally record videos of like the screen you're seeing here. We're talking 30-second to 5-minute videos, guys. And again, the software we use is completely free to do. And then I show you Google Plus secrets as well. Again, it's 11 video sections in this module, and it comes with all the process documents and templates. But the big one is this one right here. It's a social media plan and reach. After you win the program, then we break down your specific social media plan and reach for your business, and we make sure that you know what your plan is and how to grow your business. So we break down what your reach is on all of these platforms, and you'll know it, and then you'll be able to focus on those specific platforms. So we walk you through A to Z how to do that, and then we also have some bonuses. What program doesn't have bonuses, right? So and let me share these bonuses with you, and then I'm going to get to all your questions. So the first one is how to set up and build and optimize a Facebook fan page. I'll walk you through A to Z on how to do that and the software we use to do that with. And then I'm going to share with you, this is a members-only community that you get access to on LinkedIn. Yeah, we have support, and you can always email us at support. You can reach us at support all the time. But we also have a community where you can see the other members, hundreds of members that are all working together. Right now we have over 700 members in our Social Media Fast Start program. So, yeah, I mean, you know, so you get the opportunity to engage with these other people. So it's very powerful. And then, you know, realizing that this is social media, some of you don't have a website, or you have a stinky website. So we'll provide you with a basic WordPress website setup. After the first 30 days, the hosting will be on you, but we'll help you get started. You can choose from 70 themes, so it's kind of basic, but it's just an additional bonus. You don't have to take advantage of it. So the entire program, what's the value? Well, easily magnetic profiles, the value there is $200, another $300 for the engagement modules, and then another $400 for dominating on social media. Now, I could charge a lot more than $500 for the Facebook, how to develop Facebook fan pages. Guys, you could get the program just to learn how to do Facebook fan pages, and then go out there and charge $800 to $2,000 to build Facebook fan pages for somebody else, let alone your own business. So you could get the program and learn how to do it and go charge to do just that. Another $100 value for the community, another $500 value for the WordPress website. Again, that's a really low number. I mean, it's really worth a lot more than that. So total value for the program, $2,000. But we do have a webinar only special here, and you can get the entire program for a one-time payment of $197. It comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So here's what that means. All the risk is on me, and you can get this program, and if it cannot do what I say it can do, then you can request a refund. Simple as that. You know what? I realize this program is not going to be a fit for everybody. I'd like it to be, but sometimes it's just not. This program is instantly, digitally delivered to you, so you can take advantage of this entire program. So it's a comprehensive program, guys. It's A to Z, but it's very efficient. The modules are all numbered. It's a very high-end back-end, and so everything is in HD. So a very comprehensive program for everybody, and it's just a one-time investment of $197. So with that said, I'm going to start to get to your questions, and I will let Tanner and Tim field the questions, and I'll start answering them. And then for everyone who stays on until near the end, I'll also share with you our Google Plus strategy, so if you guys would like to hear that. So with that said, I will welcome Tanner and Tim back, and we'll start fielding your questions.
Awesome, Randy. I've sat through quite a few social webinars, and this is cool. I mean, I was seriously taking notes. I never take notes, ever, and I was taking notes, and I'm actually going to use these ones because we're going to be doing some social media stuff, Tim and I together, and opened our eyes. Pretty cool stuff. But I did see a lot of cool questions coming in, some that I'd like the answer to as well. So let's just go ahead and get into them.
Absolutely.
One question was, about the download. This is a digital product. Is it a huge download? Is it going to be a long download for people?
It's not a download. It's obviously this type of information, guys, is extremely, you can see how powerful this can be. So it's a members only access. You access the member site. We have a members backend website. You'll get a login. Once you buy it, you'll be redirected to a registration page. You will register with your username and password, and you'll be able to watch the modules in the members area. It is not a download. It's just digitally delivered, and the reason why is it's very, very valuable stuff, guys. So you can just access the members area there.
Great. We got another question, and this has actually been asked a couple of times in here. It's a big course, 11 modules, 24 videos, lots and lots of material to go through. Is it newbie friendly? Can someone who's beginning take off with this?
It is, and just to clarify, guys, it's 3 modules. And the first 2 modules both have 6 videos in them. Then the third module has 11 video sections, and it's a beginner can go through this because I have module 1, module 2, module 3, and then I have a video 1, video 2, video 3. So it's real easy to get in and get out, get training wherever you're at in the process. A beginner can go through it, and 30% of the people who buy it are actually consultants, and so even a consultant can see success. People who feel like they are an expert in social media. 30% of the people are experts who buy my program. So yeah, it's definitely it fits the spectrum because of the way I organize the program.
Awesome, very cool. Now, guys, if you guys have your questions, go ahead and throw them in here. I'm still scrolling back through because there's a lot of great questions from early on that I want to get to. But if you go ahead and post your questions now, we will get to them. So keep them coming. Now, Susan had a question. What if your business offers very different products or services? Do you create a separate brand or identity on all the social networks for each aspect of your business?
Yeah, absolutely, Susan. Great question. If you give, and this often said, if you give people multiple options, they'll choose none. And so you think about this like with Twitter and Facebook pages. You want to have separate pages like on Facebook for your different businesses. Same thing with Twitter. You want to have different ones. Like on LinkedIn, though, you have to have one profile, but you can create different company profiles. But you want to have one, on like LinkedIn, it's different. You want to have one compelling subject heading up at the top. But again, on Twitter, you can have separate Twitter accounts under different email addresses, and you want to grow those very targeted followings the same way with Facebook.
Okay. That makes a lot more sense than the way I was thinking about doing it, so I'm glad you clarified that. Let's see, we got a bunch of questions I'm still trying to go through, a lot from the beginning. Let's go back up to the top here so we can get these people who've been waiting a long time. Okay, let's see. A lot of people are loving it. Big yes, seeing client tomorrow. I'm going to use this. Love it. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely one of the best, most enlightening presentations I've watched on social media. I learned stuff that I'd never even thought possible. Some of just the search things and how to figure out your competition were awesome.
Yeah, it's a huge opportunity for people to capitalize off of, guys. I mean, it's just, if my clients knew how easy it is to implement these things, they wouldn't be paying me the money they do. They would be doing it themselves. But you know what? They just don't realize the magnitude of it, and how easy it is once you get it up and running.
Okay. Jared had a question saying, I do graphic design and web development. Would that be considered 2 different businesses, or would they be under one umbrella?
With that one, Jared, I would probably do them under the same one. But you could definitely, Jared, create separate Twitter accounts and really farm very niche with graphic design and one with web development. Obviously, you could see the opportunities there, especially with what I shared with you. But you wouldn't necessarily need to for your business, but there is opportunity both ways for you.
Great. And Joanne says, do you have a white label service where we can outsource this to you and send our clients your way?
Yep, we sure do, and you just let me know that you were on this webinar, and that kind of leads to support too, guys. I didn't cover this, but anytime you need support, you just go to socialmediafaststart.org, and I'll type this into the chat box, and let me type this in here real quick. But it's socialmediafaststart.org and support and /support, and I will. You can always reach me there, and or our team, and we'll reply back.
Cool. Yeah, I know a lot of people would definitely like to take advantage of a white label option. Sandra, this offer will be available for a few days, but not very long. I mean, you can see here the amount of value that Randy is offering here and discounting his course massively for you guys. I mean, $197 is a nuts price for this offer. Totally nuts. So it's only going to be available for a few days. If you want it, you got to jump on it while it's at this price. Otherwise, fair game if you come back and it's at a higher price. It'd only be smart for him to raise the price because I don't want Randy to give away all his good stuff for this low of a price all the time. Okay, what was the support link? Another question.
I just sent that back out to everybody through the chat box, but it is
I see it in there now. Okay.
It's socialmediafaststart.org/support. And anytime you've got any questions there, you can always ask technical questions there. You can ask strategy questions there, but you also can ask strategy questions in the private LinkedIn community too, which, so you have multiple ways, touch points with us. So we're always there. We're always, ready to help.
Great. I see a couple people saying so much information. Will it be available? Will a replay be available? Yes, guys, we will have a replay out for you shortly. Tomorrow at the latest, you'll have a link sent to you via email that you registered with, and we will get the replay to you for sure. Absolutely. You're going to want to rewatch this one. There's a lot of good stuff in here that you're going to want to see. And, of course, all that stuff that he's sharing with you and more is obviously going to be in his course, which you can get for an incredible price. I still can't get over the value you're offering here, Randy. And questions. If you've got the questions, we've got Randy here. We've got him as a captive audience. You can throw anything you want at him right now. And, not often you get to pick someone's brain like this, and especially someone who's as successful as he is and willing to just answer anything you've got. So throw your questions out here while he is here. And let's see, what else we got question-wise? So many people just saying, love it, this is great, awesome, please repeat this webinar, I'd love to see it again. Can't wait to see your Twitter strategy. I'm in, I love it, I bought it, I'm in, cool. Okay.
Yeah, and guys, I would say this too, when you think about this opportunity and you think about your business, here's a statistic. I didn't even share it on the webinar, but right now there's over 21 million small businesses that are implementing social media in some way. Doesn't mean they're doing it right, but they realize the magnitude, and there's only 26 million small businesses in the world. So when you consider that, business owners and entrepreneurs realize the magnitude, and you want to have a competitive edge on your competition. And one of the ways that you can do that, again, is through social media. It will afford you the opportunity to drive increased results with what I call reduced cost. And so it's a huge opportunity. The window of opportunity to leverage it the way that we're doing it, it's been open for 3 years. I think that over the next several years, that unless you're really good, it could close a little bit. So you really want to take advantage of the opportunity to grow your business with it now. You want to really take advantage and get that competitive edge in the marketplace with it now, because it will have a significant impact on your business. And yeah, some of you guys just mentioned it too. Just the reality that you could go out there and charge for some of this. Some of you guys are consultants. You could charge just to do the Facebook fan page, just to share the one LinkedIn strategy. Those are things you can charge for. And yeah, it can have you could see immediate ROI on just your investment in this program, because you could go sell a Facebook fan page really quickly. So very powerful stuff, guys. So if you wanted to implement this, and implement it for your clients, go right for it. I want you to be successful as a consultant, or whatever you do. So.
Randy, we have a couple questions I've seen about the Facebook fan page module. Could you kind of go over that again and kind of explain, are they going to build their fan pages? Is it with a software, or are you showing them a different way?
I show them how the software that we use. You can pay for that software, guys, but I show you how to A to Z, how to upload the graphics. Where do we, our team does our graphics, but I show you resources that you could use to do graphics for you. I also offer in the back end, if you don't want to do the graphics for your own fan page, you can actually have us do all of your social profiles for you for, I think it's like, if you want us to do all our graphics team, our own firm, do it. It's like $197 for all of them: Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, all of it.
Wow.
Which is,
guys, if you guys don't know graphic designers, that is an incredible deal for targeted Facebook or any kind of, not Facebook necessarily, but any kind of graphic work from an expert. That's a heck of a deal. So if that's something you're worried about, don't stress. That you can build that into your price that you're charging, no problem.
Yeah, and that's why I did that. I mean, Tanner, you understand. I mean, you can't go out there and get that done at that cost, not with a quality graphic guy. And because we've been in business for 3 years, we've been able to automate that process, so it's there. But if you have your own graphic people or whatever, yeah, we show you exactly how to embed the graphics. We show you how to do opt-in forms and embed video and all of that. But we also do share with you the software that we use for drag and drop. I mean, where you could literally build a $2,000 Facebook fan page in an hour, and then happily collect that check, and it only costs you basically $100 in labor to do it.
Yeah,
so
you can't beat that, guys. That is killer. Plus, these, like you said, his graphics people, they already know. You don't have to train them on how to create the right kind of graphic for what you need. They already know. You don't have to give them as much input to get it done. Now, Randy, we had another question on, this is actually interesting. Randall, his target market is doctors, and he's offering online marketing to these doctors. Can he use these methods to reach out and find doctors in doctors' offices?
Absolutely. You're going to find, the practitioner quite a bit too, who's probably the doctor's, right-hand person quite a bit. And you're going to find the HR person a lot of times, and the reason why is because a lot of, one of my clients is the largest private physical therapy. It is the largest private physical therapy in Ohio, and we do this every single day for them. And so, yeah, they're all on there, so you could definitely implement it. And if you do marketing for them, you can use this program to market their business. I mean, we took our physical therapy client in Medina, Ohio, from 350 patients a week in 4 months to over 475 patients a week, implementing these strategies. So you could dramatically impact your client's business with this program. So definitely.
Very cool. Now, Marcy has a great question. This is, and this I'm sure goes along right with your support thing, but and I'm sure there's really no doubt about it, but I just like to hear what you have to say on it. What about updates when things change on LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, et cetera? I mean, those are constantly changing networks. Everything changes all the time. How do updates work?
We update those modules. That's why we actually have the 3 modules, but we have all the really concise videos, because it allows me or my team to go in and update that 6-minute or 12-minute video. It doesn't require a lot of heavy lifting on our back end, so that's the reason why we design that way, because we'll go in and periodically update these things, like with the Facebook timeline and stuff that's going on. So we update this content when we have those changes.
Awesome. That's pretty much exactly what I expected to hear, because I definitely know you guys are on top of your stuff and aren't going to leave your customers hanging, so it's good to hear. Now, guys, again, the link is webinarswaps.com/Tanner and Tim, and if you have any other questions, this is your last chance to get them in. I am going to let Randy go and enjoy his evening if you don't drop me a few more questions here, because he's been talking for quite a while, and hosting a webinar like this can tire you out a little bit. So throw your last few questions in here. We'll get them answered, and then we will get the replay out to you guys later.
Yeah, guys, I would encourage you to, take advantage of the offer. It's 30 days money back guarantee. So you can't go wrong when you have a 30-day money back guarantee. It'll give you the opportunity to get in there, see results, start generating them, and if you're not, then request a refund. But the other thing that you can't do, though, some of you have bought the program, and here's the thing you can't do. You can't buy the program like you buy a book and then go put it on the shelf. You need to get the program and take action. And, by taking action, you can start growing your business. So I would encourage you guys to take action if you haven't, and go and get the program and start actually going through it tonight. So yeah, I'll answer a couple more questions here.
Joanne had another question about the white label service. Do you include social media management in that, or is it just set up?
Oh no, we'll do the management. If you'd like us to do that, we can do it. That's not a problem.
Okay, let's see what else we got. We got a couple more coming in. Guys, the Facebook fan page system or software is not Randy's. It's a third-party software that they use, but he also teaches you exactly how to do it without the software. So if you don't want to use the software that he does, you don't have to. So there's no fee associated with that if you don't want there to be.
Yeah, exactly. You can. I just recommend that you use it only because if you're about efficiency, then yeah, it's like $100 for it, and you can do drag and drop. You know, literally like drag modules, drag videos instead of coding anything. And so it just saves you time, and that's why I built the actual modules, guys. There's nothing in there where you got to buy anything. In the bonus, I'm only sharing the bonus where you can go there and you can take a look at it. And you can learn how to do the Facebook fan page, but in the bonuses I share those resources that you can additionally use to be super efficient. You don't have to do that. You can still grow your business without it.
Excellent. Okay, guys, well, I see questions are starting to taper off, so I'm going to wrap it up right now and let Randy go enjoy the rest of his night. So, Randy, thank you very, very much for taking time out of your schedule to join us tonight and share this really awesome presentation. I mean, you wowed us for sure, and Tim and I both really appreciate that you took time to be here and tell us what you got. Sandra says, yes, thank you very much, Randy, and we're much appreciated, Randy.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate being here tonight, and guys, we'll get that replay out to you as soon as we can.
So final time, guys, webinarswaps.com/Tanner and Tim, your chance to take advantage of Randy's social media fast start program, meaningful results in about 20 minutes per day, for $197. This is a phenomenal price. You get a 30-day money-back guarantee, and you get access immediately after purchase. You can start right now if you want to. If you're as excited as I am, you probably should start right now. So here's your chance. Take action, and we will talk to you later.
Thanks.